Welcome to the State of Wyoming Subject Matter Minute, where we cover a wide variety of subjects related to State of Wyoming employment. This information is for you and me, the state employee. From hidden benefits to systems and processes, we'll make your job easier by giving you the lowdown, the how-to, and hopefully entertain you a bit along the way. And now, today's Subject Matter Minute.
Hello and welcome to the Subject Matter Minute. Glad you could join me. We are currently waist deep in what they call the open enrollment period at the state, right? So I hope you've watched all the relevant episodes, right, that go over items that you can enroll in and or change during open enrollment period. Okay? I covered one of those things in the last episode. That was episode 70, and I covered the flexible spending account or accounts. If you didn't watch it and you're not sure what I'm talking about, and you haven't gone through the open enrollment process yet, be sure to watch it. All right. This episode is also about the flexible spending accounts, but today we'll be covering more of the process of submitting documentation. So today we're covering the flex reimbursement process. Before I get started, I need to give a shout out to our subject matter experts for this episode. That's Karen Williams and Carissa Tolson of EGI. Thank you for being patient with me and my dozen or so questions about this. So you set up your flexible spending accounts and you have money coming out of your check pre-tax for out-of-pocket medical expenses, daycare, and some over-the-counter supplies. How do you actually go about getting reimbursed? Well, you obviously are going to need some documentation that proves that you had these expenses, right? So that's what we're talking about today. There's a few ways to submit your documentation. You can do it the old-fashioned way, print it out, hand it over to EGI, and or stuff in an envelope and send it to EGI. That's fine. You can gather your electronic documents and email them to EGI, or you can use the portal to submit them. Okay? I gather that the portal is the preferred method as far as EGI is concerned, but there's a caveat with that. I'll elaborate in just a bit. So what documents are you going to need? You're going to need the reimbursement claim form. That's linked in the show notes down below. You'll need to fill this out. I'll show you how. Next, for medical reimbursement, you'll need supporting documentation, most of which are EOBs or explanation of benefits. Okay? You'll find these on the Signa website and the Delta Dental website. Not to worry, once again, I'll show you how. You may also need receipts if it's something that doesn't have an EOB or explanation of benefits associated with it, right? Like vision, or if it's covered over-the-counter items. For daycare, you'll need either an itemized receipt from the provider, or you can have a signature from the provider on the claim form. I'll show you what I'm talking about in just a minute. First, I'm going to show you how to gather all your stuff. Okay? Then I'm going to show you how to do it the paper way, and then I'll show you how to do it on the online portal. Okay? All right. Let's go find your EOBs on the Signa website. Okay, here we are on the Signa website. Go ahead and log in. If you haven't before, you'll need to click on Register. You may need your insurance card to register. Once you're logged in, go to the top menu bar and hover over Claims, and then click on Claims. You can see that this is showing only my claims right now. If you have a family and want to see all of the claims, you can click View All here. Side note, please don't freak out that I'm showing this information. I really don't care if you know who our doctors are. So, I'm viewing all at this point. The other thing that you may need to change is the year you are viewing. If you are doing this during the year you are submitting for, you'll want to select year to date. But if you're doing this in February for the previous year, you'll want to select prior year. Now you can see all of the claims for the year. And yes, there are a lot of them. You want to look for the ones where you owe money. All right, it's pretty clear. Depending on how much you elected for your medical reimbursement, I find that things are much easier if you use the biggest charges. For instance, if I only have $1,500 in my Flex account, I can do it all with just one EOB this one right here, for over $1,600. But no matter how you do it, this is how you get your EOBs. Find one where you owe and click on Download EOB. That will open the EOB in a new window and/or tab. From here, you can either download it or print it, depending on how you are submitting your documents. In my browser, the buttons for this are in the upper right corner. Yours may differ slightly. Now I'll show you how to do the same on the Delta Dental website. Go to deltadentalwy.org and click Login. Select Subscriber, then log in, and then click on Claims. Take a look down the Patient Pays column for the services you paid for, and then click View in the EOB column. The EOB will open in a new window or tab. The printing and downloading are the same as they were for Signa. Now that you have all of your EOBs gathered up, let's go over how to fill out the reimbursement claim form. Here is the flexible spending reimbursement claim form. As it says at the top, this is for medical, daycare, and over-the-counter reimbursement. The top part's pretty straightforward. Fill it out. The next section is the medical section. This is where you list all of your EOBs and/or your receipts for medical items. As it says in red, you need to list each service date separately. For you long-timers, this is a bit different. You used to be able to group services from one provider. No longer, please list them separately. Then fill out the rest of the information, put the amounts and the total. This is a good spot to pass on something I've learned over the years. When filling out the medical reimbursement section, you can avoid that letter you get when the total is more than you elected with your Flex account with a simple trick. This letter. As long as your total is over the amount you elected for Flex, you can just put the correct amount as the total. So, for instance, all the providers add up to $1,540, but you only elected $1,500 for your medical Flex. Put the providers in the appropriate way, and then put $1,500 as both totals. EGI will reimburse the $1,500 and you won't get the letter. The next section is the daycare reimbursement area. This is slightly different. For one thing, if you can remember from the last episode, you can't claim money that hasn't yet been deposited or contributed to your Flex account. Also, you need to get the tax ID number or social of the provider and put it with the name of the provider. Then go through, put the date of service, the dependent's name, and the rest. Same deal, put the amount and the total. Remember that with daycare reimbursement, you can't request more reimbursement than is in your daycare Flex account. If you do, you will receive a letter that looks like this. However, the system will track the claim and reimburse you for that extra as funds come into the account. Okay, next is the new over-the-counter claims section. You can claim certain over-the-counter medications, but not all, so it's best to do a little reading in the Flex booklet that's linked in the show notes. So fill that out just like the other sections. Now make sure to read the information below that section. It's important information. Also, before you sign, you should read all the info below the signature line. That's just good practice when signing your name, right? Okay, next, sign and date here if you have already printed it out, and if not, print it out, sign it, and date it. The next step is submitting all of this stuff on the online portal, or dropping it off to EGI, or sending it to EGI. But before we go there, I want to warn you that they want all of the documents merged into one document for upload. Okay, that's the caveat I was talking about. Also, if you can put the supporting documentation in the order of the claim form, it's a big help to EGI for processing. If you have a year's worth of EOBs and they don't match up to your claim form, your claim may be returned to you. All right, so there may be a bunch of you out there who know how to combine files in Adobe Acrobat and have access to it. That's great, just do it. For those that don't have access to Acrobat or know how to use it, there is a free online tool that can make it happen. It's called Merge PDF Files, and it's also by Adobe. Unfortunately, you do have to create a free account to use it, but it's pretty straightforward. The link is in the show notes. Just drop all the EOBs, scanned receipts, and claim form into it, reorder the files, merge the files, and download the merged file. Another option I've heard of is to put all your papers in order and Xerox to your email on a printer. In any case, once you have all of your files merged, you can go to the portal to do the uploading. Go to the portal by using your bookmark or by going to the A&I website, then clicking on Employees Group Insurance, then scrolling and clicking on the portal link. On that page, you will find helpful videos showing you how to register and how to use the portal during open enrollment. For now, just click on the Employee Portal Access. Click on Login, then sign in however you have in the past. I use Google personally. You do not have to go far to make this happen. In the top section, you will see a tab called Flex. Click on that tab. Next, you will click on the Upload Flex Claims button. You can refresh your memory about the details by reading the information on this page, and when you're ready, click New Upload. Next, click Select File. Click Choose File, select your file, and then click Attach File. I can't show you, but don't forget to click Submit after attaching, as sometimes folks do forget and the claim is not actually submitted. I'm not going to be doing this right now, so I'm going to cancel. You should see your file in the Documents tab, but you might need to show more items and scroll down. Once EGI audits the claim, you will see it in this list under the Flex tab. Okay, I know that's a lot, but it is what it is. Get in there and get reimbursed. I gotta fly. See you next time.
You have been watching the Subject Matter Minute with Matt Nagy. Please help us out by subscribing. And join us next month when we'll cover another topic of interest for all State of Wyoming employees. Again, thank you for joining us on the Subject Matter Minute.